It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you.
All right, everybody, welcome into the PBL Primetime. It's round two. We're picking a couple games this week. This is also the PBL Primetime finale for season three and the finale for all time, as it is now. And we're going to have a new commissioner up soon. Won't be me, thank God. After 3 years, I've put my time in. Brent and I have worked diligently to give the league fun content, whether it's been us on the podcast or random people on the podcast. Whatever it's been, we've put the effort in to make some good content for the league. But somebody else is going to take over now out of these four guys we have left, and we'll see what they end up coming up with. It might be another podcast. They might revert back to some more paragraphs in the group chat, but that's totally going to be on them. I'm retiring. And I'll give you guys, if you want to do some video clips, I'll give you the app that I use, but that's as far as I'm going. As always, your three-peat commission host and my humble Sacco host.
Sacco.
Really tough look, 2 out of 3 years. You hate to see it. For somebody who put so much love and grind into the game, it is truly the worst to see Brent here at the bottom. But my opinion, Santi's team was decimated. Davante Adams absolutely put Santi on his back and ran him out of that matchup.
Between Davante's 57 and then the Bengals defense, I think they ended up with 24.
Crazy.
No, that's almost 100 points between those two spots right there. That's tough, and my team just didn't have enough pop. It turns out I built a team that was all floor plays and not enough ceiling plays. It happens.
Yeah, crazy stuff. Brent Lias, our beautiful Sacco man. What's your plan for the road trip?
So road trip will be in July once work kind of calms down. I have a month in between end of this year stuff going on and before I ramp up in August for busy season. So I'll get it planned out, let everyone know in the group what we're doing. Let everyone know right now that I will be completing the Waffle House challenge within the next 2 weeks, just to prove that it's not that hard to do. So some of us are bitch made, some aren't. Some of us find the time to do the punishments, some don't. So if anyone wants to join, I'll send you when it is. It'll be over a weekend here in the next 2 weeks. So
for a fact that
Reed, everyone there.
For a fact that Reed will be there. So
yes,
there. You'll at least have somebody eating some pancakes with you. Are you going to IHOP or Waffle House? I don't know.
I haven't decided. I'm more of a waffle guy personally, but pancakes might be the easier choice just to get the challenge done with.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a different environment there at the Waffle House too, but
that is my kind of environment, though.
You've seen all the Waffle. You're gonna get in a fight with somebody at the Waffle House. Reed's gonna be there. If it's on the weekend, depending on the time frame, I might be there.
See, I'm thinking the strategy is go at like midnight and just knock it out in the early morning.
That's true. I mean, you're already up either way.
Yeah.
God bless Kate if she's taking care of me.
She's over here, thumbs up from the bed.
There you go.
Thumbs up.
Maybe she'll come by with Leo and you guys get him a little pancake himself. Yeah, excellent. Well, that's going to be fun. Yeah, so Brent has to do our Sacco punishment, basically just for the fun of it, drive to St. Augustine to a Buc-ee's and take a picture inside with your cute little pink shirt that Kate bought, oddly enough. So it's circling back around to the house, which is nice. And thank you for that, Kate. And it should be just a fun little road trip. Depending on the day, we'll see who's able to join. I think Santi is already in, no matter what. And if it's during the week, I might have some free time. We'll see.
I'll plan that around your work schedule.
Yeah, thank you. Let's take a look. We got two matchups, four teams left, four of the guys left, two former champions, two newbies. Hopefully, we'll see who gets out of it. First off, we got Lou and Ryan. What do we think?
So I'm going to start with Ryan's team. He's got probably the hottest player right now in fantasy football in Jamar Chase. Jamar is averaging, I think, in our scoring setting, I just looked it up, 29 points, which is a lot for wide receiver. He's had 85, 26, 20, 54, and 19 as his last 5 weeks. The 19 being his worst week is pretty good. And he's got a great matchup going up against the Browns defense, who, at this point in the year, they're kind of selling it. I think we've got 3 or 4 wins on the year, not playing good. Corners are a little banged up as well. But going down the rest of his lineup, he's got Rashad White. He's been a solid guy, with the Bucky Irving injuries. Both of them have been really good. And then Terry McLaurin has finally hit his wide receiver one streak. He's got 11 touchdowns this year, which is the most he's had since his rookie year. And I think it's just 1 or 2 shy of his career total this year. So he's really popped off. The rest of Ryan's team, they've been fine. Rico Dowdle has been a nice find. He makes for a good RB2, RB3. But Debo Samuel, he looks like it might be, done at this point. Trying to put it nicely, there's no nice way to put it. He's kind of washed. And then DK Metcalf, his fourth wide receiver who kind of carried him earlier in the year. Now he's been banged up. He hasn't been playing good. Maybe the Seahawks have transitioned to JSN being the new wide receiver one on that team. So that kind of hurts him as well. Ryan did pick up Jerome Ford. I think that'll be a solid play if he ends up going, that route, seeing how, some of the injuries play out. And then for Lou's team, Lou's got the second hottest guy in the league right now in Josh Allen. He's 78 points. I think he had, 30 something last week. 47, sorry, 72 and 47 the last 2 weeks. Lou's been the highest scoring team those 2 weeks. So we'll see if that happens. Just matchup wise, I do like Lou's better than Ryan's. Lou's got a lot more gray matchups and more green matchups, where Ryan's got a lot of red matchups, but that's not always the case on what determines a victory. But in this situation, I'm going to go with the quarterback that's hot instead of the wide receiver. So I'm going to take Lou.
Yeah, I think Josh Allen's had like what, 5 total touchdowns and 6 total touchdowns in the last like 2 weeks or something like that. Just
5 passing and 5 rushing in 2 weeks.
yeah, ungodly numbers. Ridiculous. There's not really much to say about it at this point in the fantasy football season. It's really about who wills you to the end on a hot streak. And of course, it's Josh Allen versus Jamar Chase in this matchup right here. Jamar
They
Chase.
should just solo at 1-on-1.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. And, Josh Allen, I think is the NFL MVP personally, just what he's been doing recently. And it's a recency bias thing when it gets to the NFL MVP. They want to see who's hot at the end of the season too. I love the Darnold Addison stack here recently. They've been going crazy as well. And then I'm interested to see what Ryan's quarterbacks are going to be doing this week. Of course, he got the Anthony Richardson pickoff from you, and the Stafford pickoff from me. So 2 quarterbacks that we drafted are now in the semifinals with Ryan's team. So we'll see how that all shakes out. But at the end of the day, I think it just comes down to what Josh Allen's going to do and what Jamar Chase can do. And I'll lean on the side as you did and say the quarterback is going to stay hotter. And I'm going to go ahead and go with Lou as well. So we both got Lou advancing to the finals. Mid-Lou, that is. Sorry.
No longer mid.
No longer mid. Hey, he could just prove us all wrong. He could beat all the mid allegations with these next 2 weeks. It's all up to him and Josh Allen. Next, we got Hooley and Los. Probably your favorite matchup ever, if I can.
Oh, yeah, I'm just giddy about this one. It's my 2 favorite people.
What do we think?
Carlos is carried by his running backs, where Ryan was based off of wide receivers. Carlos drafted really good running backs this year. And, this is the first year where none of them busted and none of them got majorly injured for the remainder of the year. So he's definitely got the best depth at running back. And then he somehow sat on that first waiver claim and picked up Garendo 2 weeks ago. So I'll be curious to see if Garendo plays. There's questions if Mixon plays. So which injured RB does he put in? Does he slide Chuba or Gibbs up and play one of his riskier wide receivers if one of those running backs is out? We'll have to see. But the core of his team, he just lost Kirk Cousins, so he's rocking with Gino, who's injured. Tua is now questionable. I guess something popped up there today. Both of them have negative matchups. The one saving grace to Carlos's team is with Monty being out the rest of the year. Gibbs is going to be RB1. The 3 games that Monty missed last year, Gibbs finished no worse than RB4 on the week. So I'm expecting a big game there. But I don't think it's going to be enough to beat Hooley's team. Hooley's carried by Saquon Barkley, and then the Baker and Mike Evans stack. And not to mention, all of those guys have green matchups. And then if we do want to talk about surprising RBs this year, James Conner. This is the first year where he's played an entire year with no injuries, knock on wood. But he's got a great matchup going up against the Panthers, who are the worst in the league versus running backs. So I'm expecting another big game there from James Conner. So I'm going to go with Hooley on this one, making a return to the finals after 11 years.
Yes, Hooley, our original champion. And it's been a while, but yeah, again, not much really to say on this one. Just more so the same theme. It's just about who wills you to the end, and it's Saquon versus now Jahmyr Gibbs for this one. Probably, not that you ever want anybody to ever get injured, but that was two RB1s sitting on a team fighting each other the whole year. So now that one of them is out of the picture, Gibbs should go absolutely nuclear. And it just kind of whatever's going to happen between him and Saquon in this match. And then, of course, you got the Baker Mayfield and Evans stack, which Evans is still going for his 1,000-yard career streak.
He needs 84 yards a game to get there.
Yeah, so Baker Mayfield's going to pepper him for the rest of the season as well. So for that, I think Hooley's going to get the edge in this game right here, and we have Hooley again making it back to the championship. Has he made it to a championship in that meantime?
Not since the first year.
Okay, so it's been a little bit for Hooley. I started this league a long, long time ago. Hooley was our first victor. We've since lost that information, but we know that Hooley and of course, collusion scandals and such, but he's back. So we got him going back into the championship. So quick recap there, Brett. I think that's an easy one. The two of us are just rolling with Lou and Hooley.
Yeah, it is fitting being the last podcast that we do agree. The guys will love that.
Of course. No. Dick riding, I believe they call it. But all right, who do you have as your champion? Since we're not going to be here next week, of course, the holiday schedule is a little bit more difficult for us around here. You guys might end up getting maybe a fun little PBL supercut video at some point if I feel like putting one together. But as far as next week, we will just have some graphics and stuff for social media probably. But who do you think is going to come down to the line for the championship there?
I'm peeking ahead. Lou's team has some rough matchups there at the quarterback spot. He's got Kyron in a good spot. If Masson keeps the starting job, he'll be decent. But besides that, there's not too much like advantageous schedule wise. Where for Hooley, Baker playing against the Panthers, Saquon versus the Swiss cheese Cowboys defense. Jacoby Myers, if he stays healthy, gets the Saints, who's a bad matchup. The only downside for Hooley's schedule is CD versus the Eagles defense. The rest of it's green matchups. I mean, he's even got Thielen and Christian Watson on the bench with good matchups in the championship game. So I'm going to say Hooley wins next week as well.
Nice. And of course, having the same two in the championship. So I always have to root for a brand new commissioner. And I'm tired of only 5 of us winning over the past 11 years. Hooley's going to get there again, but I am rooting for, and I'm going to pick Mid Lou, who I will continue to call Mid far after he wins a championship this year, if that's how it ends up.
It's just a funny joke because he's the only person who's never been in a Sacco or a championship game in
Just
the
in
entire league.
He's just in limbo at all times. But, once you start climbing up the ladder and once you actually get a championship, then you're just somebody with only one championship. So you're still not that good. Sorry. Yeah, so it looks like we got, Brent will be taking Hooley as our new league champion for the second time. And then I will be taking our newbie champion, Lou. We'll see how everything rides out over the next couple of weeks. But this will be, of course, the finale for the pod. I know I have complained many times over the years that you are all children and you're annoying and I hate you and you guys just talk about random shit just to talk about random shit and bring politics into the league and so on and so forth. Whatever it is, whatever complaints I may have. But I have thoroughly enjoyed my 3 years as a commissioner. I really have. Don't let me lie to you. It has been very fun. Has been an honor to bring some good content to the guys consistently for 3 years, and I appreciate Brent for helping me with that. He really is. I'm just the host. Brent has all the good information. And it's been a lot of fun hosting a podcast. I didn't think I was looking back at some of our older videos. I used to wear a headset. Do you remember that? I used to have
remember that, yep.
I didn't think we were going to make it too far past a draft recap and maybe a couple of episodes, but here we are 3 years later, and it's a labor of love. Me and Brent have set aside plenty of time to talk football on the podcast and, of course, off the podcast. So it's just natural for us. But it's just put together because, we love the league and we love making good content for the league, whether you think it's good or you think it's shit or you want to put a trash can emoji by it, whatever it is. But we've enjoyed it. And I know Brent has enjoyed it as well. Any parting words for the guys, Brent?
It's been fun. Maybe whoever wins next year will let me do it as well. So we'll see what happens.
He's a free agent. He's a free agent pod assistant after this after these next couple of weeks. So he can be picked up for the right price if Lou or Hulu. I don't think Hulu wants to do the podcast. Maybe Lou will. Maybe Lou will. I could see Ryan and well, I don't know. I don't want to jump the gun. Maybe somebody's already got something planned for it, and it doesn't have to be a podcast. It could be something different. Santi brought us into a little bit more that social media age, and the videos and pics and stuff, and we kind of rolled off of that, which has been nice. But at the end of the day, the new commissioner will be able to do whatever they want. They can go back to just writing a paragraph in the chat and calling it a day. Totally up to them. It will be all on their plate. But that's about it, guys. So we got our picks. You'll see some graphics and stuff come up. Like I said, I'll probably cut out a couple more videos here, just some fun ones just for the end of the year. But other than that, the time with the PBL Primetime has come to a close. It has been fun, and we will see you when we see you at the PBL Primetime. All right, guys. Peace.
Family's all that we got. Everything I would do, you were standing there by my side.